happy to be here. And Alpena, thank you so much for being here.
Well, we're here to have a rally to talk about the future of the state, the things that we want to do to bring education back, to make sure our cities are safe, and to make sure that we partner with business instead of having the state be an enemy of business.
The crowd really supported her on her stance on making education in Michigan a big priority again, and that the parents feel involved in their children's education.
Well, you heard my big focus is making sure that we have every child reading, that every child can read, but also the parents are involved in education. We've had too many parents feel like they've been pushed out of education, so not only do we want to make sure we go back to the basics of reading, writing, and math, but we have parents involved every step of the way.
Dixon also wasn't afraid to call out current Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer after her hard stance on the pandemic and the COVID-19 vaccine, including making it mandatory for children.
I think it's important because it can happen again. You have to remember that this is someone who doesn't have another election coming up. So if she was willing to do that kind of stuff once, then she's willing to do that kind of stuff again. Right now what we're facing is the CDC coming out with this new rule for a mandatory vaccine schedule, adding the vaccine to the children's schedule vaccines. And I want to make sure that doesn't happen in the state of Michigan. But that's up to state government. So she can very easily force every child going to school to have the vaccine. Now, considering what she did during the pandemic, the Vax to Normal program, trying to push everybody to get vaccinated, and her loyalty to the teachers union, I believe that that would be what would happen in the state of Michigan if we do not make sure that we fire Gretchen Whitmer.
Lastly, she mentioned her love for northern Michigan, but also how the loss of small businesses in small towns like Alpena across the state has had a serious effect.
It's absolutely one of my favorite places in the world. I love the entire state of Michigan, but what I've seen as we've traveled across Michigan, and what I think a lot of people in Southeast Michigan don't understand, is that our communities and the other parts of Michigan have really lost a lot of businesses. We've lost a lot of sense of community because the places that we're so used to going can no longer be open, that we've lost so many of our restaurants, our gathering places. And I just want the folks across the state of Michigan to know, I see you, I hear you. I live in Western Michigan. I see what's happened there. I want to make sure that we bring the entire state back.
In Alpena, Alex Johnson, WBKB News.